This question is checking to see if you can look at a table of data and then use the data there to be able to draw an accurate pie chart. So if you look in the description of this YouTube video, you should find a link to the original question and then 3 more questions that are laid out in a similar way that I'm not going to give the answers to, so that you can check and see if you've understood the stuff in this video. Okay, so you're going to need a protractor for this question because you have to be able to measure the angles once you've worked out what those angles are. So remember, a pie chart is a chart, a way of visualizing data, of displaying data, so that you can compare different numbers, so that you can quickly see whose slice of the pie is bigger, or which number is bigger, or how the numbers compare to each other. So to get started, let's try and understand this table that we've got. It says it's the results of a football team, and they have won 28 games. They've drawn 12 times and they've lost 20 times. So the word frequency means how many times. So this means, this 20 means that they've lost 12 times, they've lost 20 games. Okay, so first of all we need to know how many games in total that they've played, so that we need to add up each of our numbers here. So 28 times that they've won, 12 times they've lost, and 28 times they've won, 12 times they've drawn, and 20 times they've lost. If we add them all up together, 8 plus 2 plus 0 is 10, and then 2 plus 1 plus 2 is 5. So add those together and we get 60. So there are 60 games in total that the football team has played, and that helps us because if we've got a pie chart and we're trying to measure the angles, all of the angles in our pie chart should add up to 360 degrees. So if we were to draw a pie chart with sections of pie for every single time this football team has played, and there are 60 of them, we could work out the size of each slice of pie by doing 360 divided by 60. So 360 divided by the total number of times the football team has played, which is 60, is the same as 36 divided by 6, which is 6 degrees. So the size of each slice of pie, if there was a slice of pie for every single individual game, would be 6 degrees. So this third column here is going to be the angle measured in degrees for each time that they've either won, drawn or lost. So if each individual game is worth 6 degrees, we can work out for 28 times that they've won, we do 28 times 6. So let's work out what that is. 28 times 6. 8 times 6 is 48. 2 times 6 is 12. Add them together and we get 168. So our angle for the number of times that a player has won, the football team has won, is 168 degrees. Let's do the same for the number of times the football team has drawn. That's going to be 6 degrees times by 12. So 6 times 12 is 72. And I would hope that all of these numbers add up to 360, because that's going to be our complete circle, our complete pie. So you could either do 360 minus 168 minus 72 for the answer here, or let's just do 20 times 6. So 20 times 6 is 120. Okay, so at this point you'd use your protractor, but I haven't got a protractor that I can use over my computer screen, so I'm just going to guess. But you do have to do this accurately in your exam. You will get marks for drawing them accurately. So 120 is less than 180. 180 would be half of your pie. It's more than a quarter of your pie because that's 90 degrees, a right angle. 120 is a third of your pie. So you would measure from this line, using your protractor, 120 degrees, and you must label it. So this is the number of times that the football team has lost. Then you do the same from this new line. You'd measure around 72 degrees, which is just less than a right angle, so I'm guessing about that. But you'd have to do it accurately, and we'll label that as the number of times that the football team has drawn. And then hopefully, if you measure this, it should be 168 degrees, and then you'd label this as the number of times that the football team has won. So to recap, if you've got a table like this and you need to draw a pie chart, first of all add up all of your numbers to get your total, then divide 360 by your total, and that's the number of degrees for each individual number. So you take each category and you times it by the number of degrees. So in our case it was 6, 28 times 6, 12 times 6 and 20 times 6, and that's the number of degrees that you have to measure to mark on each slice of your pie. 4 marks available for these, 1 for being able to work out what the angles are, 2 for being able to draw it properly, and 1 for labelling each section of your pie. So remember, in the description of this video there's a link to the original question plus 3 more questions for you to work through. I hope this has been useful. If you've spotted any mistakes or got any questions, then just leave a comment in the video. Thanks a lot.